What's the highest return on ad spend you've ever seen? It's a question I get fairly often, usually on sales calls when people are trying to back me into a corner. They want me to make promises. The answer is we had a client, and honestly it's mildly unfair because there was a Black Friday promotion that like destroyed in a good way. But we had a client who had a 9,000% return on ad spend, and they were a consumable product, personal care product, and so that 9,000% return on ad spend. That's just what it cost them to buy the customer. Then I shouldn't say that. That's just the money that they made when the customer came in the first time. With a consumable product, that customer's coming back. They had subscription based, like amazing business model. So those people were minting money. Amazing campaign. We just beat it. Check this out. Client spent $12,000, made $1.4 million. I'm gonna say it again. This client spent $12,000 and made $1.4 million. Can you wrap your head around? First of all, I'm so jealous because I'm not in a business where I could do that. We don't scale that way because I'm effectively in a labor industry. In excess of a 10,000% return on ad spend. That's insane. That's insanity. And here's the best part. You ready for this? This isn't like some weird random snapshot where it's just their season and we're in a cyclical market where they're on the upswing. This is a scalable campaign. If you look at the last 60 days, look at that. They're in an evergreen industry. Well, more or less. They sell some agrarian products, so I'm sure they're going to have some life cycles. But it's not like we're just right at the peak of their market. In the last 60 days ish, they spent 20 grand and they made $2.4 million. And you can see the campaign begin to get more efficient from a click perspective. Now, here's the thing: is you might look at this. I'll go back to the last 30 days. You might look at this and say, well, wait a minute. The brand campaign accounts for $400,000 of that. So out of the 1.4, they really only made one. First of all, I want to fight you. And here's why I want to fight you. Because smart shopping increases brand awareness on an almost exponential scale. We have seen that with every single smart shopping campaign we've run without a single exception. Now, the degree to which it increases your brand awareness varies, obviously, on how much brand awareness you have, how brandable your product is, etc. But when we run smart shopping, brand searches go up. And it makes sense because smart shopping is so heavy on the outbound display. So people are seeing your URL, they're seeing your business name, they're seeing your name, they're seeing your product name, they're seeing your favicon, they're seeing your logo. And then over time, you can get hundreds of thousands of brand impressions. And so, of course, the search traffic for your brand goes up. So when you see branded search, let me back up. If you're not running a brand campaign and you're running smart shopping, catastrophic error. Cata-freaking-strophic error. A. B, if you are running a brand campaign, you have to attribute some of this to smart shopping. And if you don't know how to attribute to smart shopping, the thing to do is to run a brand campaign, see what you get, then run your smart shopping campaign, and then see what your brand campaign gets. And I realize that that's not like the perfect model. There's a bunch of other variables involved, mostly time, but it's still the safest thing you're going to be able to do quickly and easily. So I'm all of it because I love smart shopping, but smart shopping deserves some of this. I don't know what degree to what perspective, but let's say that it didn't. Let's say for a moment that it didn't. This client, in that case, spent $11,000 and they made $967,000. Can you imagine spending $11,000 and making $1 million? Like, that's amazing. That's number one. Number two, look at this. For anybody who ever says, like, oh, I don't want to run a brand campaign because that's traffic that I would have gotten otherwise. First of all, no, it's not. You're stupid. Shut up. I'm just kidding. I'm not normally that cruel to people. I'm so sorry. I'm just obsessed with this topic. Here's the thing. Even if that was true, when you pay for this data, it makes it more accessible and visible to you. Because from an organic perspective, Google does the whole not provided thing, and it doesn't allow us to examine it within the microcosm that is this ecosystem. So we paid, for all intents and purposes, in the world of $1.4 million, $898 is nothing. It's nothing. Change this from $1,394,902 to $1,394,000. It's done nothing, and yet now we have all the data to attribute back. $1,000 spent in the brand campaign made $400,000. That actually, I think, goes on to prove my point that you can't just run it. There's no way this client could have just run a brand campaign, spent $1,000, and made $400,000. There's no way. They don't have the brand recognition. They needed smart shopping to feed the brand campaign. So, a couple of take-homes. If you're running smart shopping, you have to run a brand campaign. The brand campaign owes its life to the smart shopping campaign, clearly, and we have a 10,000% plus ROAS client, and this account is only going to scale. I can tell you that just based on what I'm seeing. It's relatively fresh and new for us. We took it over from somebody else who was just doing a horrible job, and we've got 10,000% ROAS in climbing. Y'all, smart shopping is the biggest opportunity facing e-commerce brands in existence that I've ever seen. There's no guarantee that it works. Depends a lot on your product, your competitors, the ecosystem, your customers, whatever. But it's absolutely worth testing. And the best part, let's get to the pitch. Ready? I'm going to pitch you. You are going to be pitched. I'll teach you how to run smart shopping, and I'll do it for free. I've got a challenge coming up. It's May 10th. There's a challenge coming up on May 10th. It's 3 days. It's live. It's interactive. It's me. There's me. And my business partner. There's my business partner. And we are going to teach you for 3 days. The 10th, the 11th, the 12th. We're going to teach you exactly how we build smart shopping campaigns. Click by click. Not holding anything back. I'm giving you the whole kit and caboodle. I'm really excited about this. So it starts in 11 days. Click the link. Join the challenge. Check out some of the case studies that we have. And you'll see 10,000% ROAS. That's honestly, these folks are in a really good industry for that. But these aren't numbers to scoff at. This is real money. 355% return on ad spend, 629% return on ad spend, 826% return on ad spend. These are real accounts. And these are also not we did this over the course of 48 hours. Some of these have been running for years. And you can take a look at some of the video testimonials from our last challenge too. Anyway, I'm sorry I'm selling the challenge so hard. It's free. I'm not even selling it. I'm giving it to you so hard. That was horrible. I'm keeping that in the video because it's funny. Love y'all. Thank you for watching. Really appreciate everybody. And I will see you tomorrow.